whenever I started my own business, just having that little taste of, oh wow, I can make what I make in a couple months in a week, having my own business, and doing my own thing, working for myself. And started to see that, so I immediately, I think it was 19, started my first business. Okay. And it actually failed horribly,
as most do.
Yeah, it was a miserable failure.
Yo, it's your boy C. Scott. Welcome back to 3 Questions, 1 Tip. I'm here with my man Joshua Dwight. You just actually had a book launch last week.
Just launched a book last week.
Awesome. So we're here, talking about entrepreneurship. And if you can, Joshua, just go ahead and give them a little bit of information about yourself. Tell them a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I think a lot of times I always start with my story, and my story is that I did come from a kind of an abusive childhood and had some rough upbringing that kind of caused me to spiral off into this teenage years of gangs, drug life, and the whole 9 yards that come with that. Yeah. Actually I probably would have been dead before the time I was 18, but then something that happened was I had a huge miraculous life change. Really turned it around, got with a group of mentors that really started, building me up, teaching me the ways of success and teaching me how to be a responsible man and a successful man. So it's all kind of started from there, and then from there I have really been kind of addicted to this entrepreneur thing. You want to use the term serial entrepreneur. There you go. And I really love the art of the deal. I love the art of building a business, creating a business, and from the ground up. It's just really exciting to me, that hunt, that chase. And other than that, I have a wife and 4 kids, and yes, we're done, no more. And we live in Atlanta, Georgia. So awesome. That's a little bit about me.
Awesome. Well, thanks for that. So we're just gonna get right into the meat and potatoes. Let's just go ahead and get into it. So entrepreneur, right?
Yeah.
Like I said before, a new book out. And what was that point, or what was that moment that actually let you know that you wanted to be an entrepreneur? Like, what was that defining moment or that defining point in your life to let you know, hey, entrepreneurship is that thing for me?
Sure. Yeah. I think coming right out of high school, I did graduate, was on my own by the time I was 17, and I didn't really have an example of what a business owner or entrepreneur was, or really even a mindset that was strong and not scarce.
Okay.
So therefore, what do you do when you come out of high school? You either do one of 2 things. You either go, okay, well, I got to go to college to be able to be successful, or I got to go ahead and go get a job to be successful. And usually that ends up being some type of trade or something you don't need college for. Yeah. And so that's like my only mindset at that point, thinking that, okay, well, this is what I got to do. And so I went and tried to get a trade, just to make some quick money. I was alone. I was pretty much homeless at 17, didn't have anywhere to go. Wow. So didn't have any parents to support me or anything like that. So I'm like, I'm gonna go get a job and make $10 an hour. And I just got to see how freaking hard that was, and how grueling it was, and then see the paycheck at the end of the week, and you're just like, man, I'm doing all this, but I'm waking up at like 4 in the morning and going and driving an hour, 2 hours away and working and getting made fun of by these freaking redneck dudes that's like, in this trade. I mean, it was just freaking horrible.
Gotcha.
And I'm not making any money. But then, you have most of the world in this mindset thinking, this is the way to wealth. Yeah. This is the way to success, right? And, one thing led to another. Of course, it's a whole long story. And I started to see, these business owners. Mm-hmm. And I started to read books and started to see, like, there's a whole nother mindset out there. Yeah. That's just very elevated and not bought into this mindset that I'm going to get rich or I'm going to be okay just by working a job. Okay. And I started to see that whenever I started my own business, just having that little taste of, oh wow, I can make what I make in a couple months in a week, having my own business and doing my own thing, working for myself. And started to see that, so I immediately, I think it was 19, started my first business. Okay. And it actually failed horribly,
as most do.
Yeah, it was a miserable failure. Yeah. Went into crazy amounts of debt.
Ooh.
thinking that, that whole wishing that it's going to happen. Like, oh no, just one more week.
One more week.
I know I'm going to make it.
I just need this.
Yeah. Don't live on credit. It's not a good thing, guys.
Oh, no.
Don't recommend it. So, that failed. And then a couple years later, I think it was because I met my wife.
Okay. Yeah. Well, and
she's
a good woman.
She's in the background.
Yeah.
So I'm good right now too. But it was because I met her, that I started another business after that. And then we actually went into the six-figure business category.
Awesome.
And it was just totally awesome to be able to take what I learned from that failed business and more study, didn't give up on it, and then saw the benefits of being a successful entrepreneur. And man, from then on I was hooked.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So I think it's that one thing, that one time of just that tasting that success when you become an entrepreneur, and it just spirals, and then you're like, I can't do anything else. I don't want to do anything else.
Right.
And I think it kind of leads us back to, that when we were like Neanderthals or whatever you want to call it, hunter-gatherer. You eat what you kill.
Exactly.
And it kind of works that way with entrepreneurship too, in my opinion.
Okay,
so let's move into like the next question. So you've gotten that taste of your success, or even before you got that taste of success, you had people that were mentoring you, started reading the books. So I guess that kind of answers the question, but what were the first 3 steps you did when you realized, I want to be an entrepreneur? What was those first 3 things you did?
Yeah, the first and foremost thing is your mindset.
Yep.
Being able to know that this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And there's people who don't agree with this.
Okay.
People look at you like a left-handed monkey with 4 arms and 7 legs.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you say, no, I don't work.
Yeah.
I do my own thing. Or no, I'm going to go out and do this. Especially if you come from a family that is not used to doing that. So you get a lot of flack. And so the first thing is set your mind, set your face, and just go, no, this is what I'm doing. I'm confident that this is what makes me happy. I'm confident that this is going to be my thing, and go forward for it.
Yeah.
The second thing is get absolute clarity about what you're going to do.
Okay.
Absolute clarity. Specifically, what am I going to do? What do I like to do? And then what am I going to do? In other words, get your game plan.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Number 3, you got to execute, man.
Execute. Yeah.
So it's mindset, clarity, execution.
Perfect. I love that. Mindset, clarity, execution. I believe that 100%. I think the mindset, can't do anything without it. So that's that. I'm glad that you put that first, because it just makes 100% sense to me.
Yeah. If I could add a bonus tip.
Go for it, man.
Like a 3A or 3B, 3A, 3B.
Let's do it. Go for it.
Bonus tip is then after you execute, it's never going to go according to plan.
No, that is absolute. Sorry to cut you off, but that is the absolute. I've run into that, and that is the absolute truth.
Right.
It will never go. It will never go
ever
according to plan, ever.
Right.
But I know you probably gonna get into it. So go ahead.
No, it's actually really quick, and so the thing is you have to be brave enough to take your results from execution and evaluate them.
Yeah.
And after you evaluate it, is whenever you be able to learn and say, like me when I was 19 from my old business, and go, okay, I did this wrong. I could learn to network better. I could learn to sell better. I could do this and this and that. You learn the points of how to do it better. Yeah. And that's what increases wealth. That's what gets you to that point of being an all-star A player.
Gotcha. Absolutely. I agree with that. And I also think that you also have to be able to course correct on the way.
Yeah.
Not be, because there's things called sunken costs.
Right.
And you're just like, oh, but I spent $500, $1,000 on this, and you're so invested in that $500 to $1,000 that you don't even see, hey, that's done. You already paid for that. That can't be undone. But maybe I need to tweak this or change this. And I believe that course correcting along the way is a big thing.
Yeah.
So, but as y'all can tell, you got a motivational speaker here. He does some motivational speaking. So we're going to be talking a lot. We're talking a lot of shop. So this is we're going to get back to the 3 questions, 1 tip here. So you've already you've hit us with what was your moment as far as knowing that you want to become an entrepreneur. You hit us with the 3 things that that you did at first, and I also wanted to know what is Like, what do you see yourself 5-10 years from now? Where do you see yourself?
Yeah, I'm starting to do a lot more of these interviews and podcasts and stuff because I did put out the book, and I am trying to, talk to more people and help as many people as I can. And I get asked this question pretty often now, and I was kind of toying with how I should respond. Should I go for a safe response?
Yeah.
Or should I go for just a freaking outlet or middle ground? What should I do? And I kind of decided that when people ask me this question, I'm going to go, kind of balls to the wall and just say, like, this is my dream.
Yeah.
This is what I'm going to do. And so, honestly, I don't know if it would happen 10 years from now. That would be awesome. I think that would be great. It would show a great work ethic and that I executed and evaluated correctly and all that. But honestly, man, I'm trying to make it to one of those, top 5 motivational speaker spots in the world.
Gotcha.
I know I have a long way to go.
Yeah.
I totally understand that, and that's what I want people to understand that might be listening to this video. That just because you're setting a big audacious goal, and that's scary and that kind of frightens you, and it's like, man, I don't know, I'm kind of embarrassed to say it because people could, my man could like look at me and be like, okay,
Yeah.
I mean, you're okay, but you ain't Tony Robbins, but and people can look at you like that, but to be able to be brave enough to put that out there, and to visualize it enough, that's what orders your steps, and it brings you to that point, and I like that. For accountability, I have thousands of people at all these podcasts and interviews going, hey, you said you was going to be this and this and that.
Yeah.
And honestly, I want people to understand that it's a work. Just because you say something, it doesn't mean it's going to happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's a work.
Yeah.
So like do the work to get to that point. All right, you said it, great, awesome.
Yeah.
Now it's not just going to fall out of the sky.
No.
Now it's going to be a process of getting to that point. And I'm committed to that process, and I really do believe that one day I'll be one of the top motivational speakers in the world.
Awesome. Well, love it. I think that's great, man. I believe it too because I've seen your work ethic in person.
Thank
you.
you.
I absolutely do believe that. So before we go to the one tip for Instagram, you got the book out. Why don't you take a second and let the people on YouTube know a little bit about the book, where they can find it, and a little bit about what it's about.
Yeah, awesome. So the book is called Self-Made: Achieving Wealth and Success Without a College Degree. You can find it on Amazon.com. It is a Kindle version and a hardback version, or a paperback version rather. The book is actually all about, it's not actually all about just, crapping on college and not going to college and all that. I put it as a controversial title so people would be like, what are you talking about? Because honestly what I'm doing is I'm challenging cultural mindsets. Like, number one, you got to go to college to be successful. Things like that. Things like, luck will make me successful. And that goes in a bunch of different ways. I even dive into, kind of that whole faith thing about, because I see a lot of people in faith movements that think that they're going to be successful. My wife and I were one of those people thinking that, if we give enough, if we believe enough and all this stuff, but if you're not doing the work,
you gotta do the work,
or just believing that, you're awesome and that's going to make you be successful. It doesn't. Just because you're awesome, it doesn't mean you're going to be successful. And so I get into all of those cultural mindsets and really, help you get over them, throw them out the window, and then we go into 6 crucial tools that's going to be able to build wealth and success for you, whether you want to do a career path or an entrepreneurial path. Okay. These 6 tools absolutely will help your life. And so definitely check that out on Amazon.com. Actually, it has been the past week, it's just been out a week.
1 week.
It was actually the number 4 book for Amazon's self-help and motivational section. So
congratulations.
we were pretty excited about that.
That's a big deal, man. Congratulations on that. It's your first book, right?
First book, yeah.
First book.
It was
Labor of love, huh?
Oh my. It was a work. I didn't think it was going to be that hard, but we did it. So
awesome. Well, Joshua, man, appreciate you being here.
Absolutely.
Everybody out there in YouTube world, 3 questions. You know how it works. 1 tip's going to be on Instagram. So check out my Instagram there. I will have all of Joshua's information down below. All right, all social medias, all the Amazon plugs, everything down below. But as always, that's what I got for you today. Leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. If you have questions for me, you have questions for Josh, give us a shout, leave us some questions, leave us some comments, share if you love this, like, subscribe, all that good stuff that they say on YouTube. I'm just regurgitating. But hey, as always, I love you. Namaste, baby. Namaste.